Betty's got the blues, 'cause her man is gone. Miss Betty's got the blues, 'cause her man is gone. He left her this morning, weeping all alone. Tell me, Miss Betty, why do you love him so? Tell me, Miss Betty, why do you love him so? He's a no good man, you really ought to take it slow.
I don't know where they all are right at the moment, but whatever. They'll join. They won't. Whatever. Um, so I'm not sure if the audio is going out from anybody other than me. I'm using a slightly different setup than I did last week. Hopefully, it's working. Brian, um, what's going on in your world? You told me about a couple of things that you have available uh, on Amazon streaming. Tell me about How to Get Girls. Uh oh. Oh, I said, tell me about How to Get Girls.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay. How to Get Girls was a film we shot. Well, of course, I can't forget that because it was right after my dad died. I literally shot the day after he died. It was a comedy shot 2016, summer of 2016, but it was a really brilliant filmmakers, Henri and Zachary Fox. And I played like this army dad who was the father of one of the lead kids, and then they show them when they're younger and when they grow up. And I was kind of like this, hard ass army father, but just trying to be a good dad. But there was just a lot of bald BAWD bald. How you say that? Like kind of over the top comedy, but I mean a lot of funny stuff in it. Just kind of a coming of age thing with these two guys and what they were going through, and this kind of crazy party. And I actually had a scene with Ron Jeremy, the famous porn actor, and he was funny. Had a lot of stories. But it's available on Amazon Prime, and it came out pretty good. They had a nice little premiere at oh god, that's the spot in 38th and Chestnut, Walnut rather, 38th and Walnut. I forget the name of the school, but anyway, really nice. And yeah, I mean, it gave me a chance to do something a little different. I mean, even though in my real life comedy is my coping mechanism, I'm very silly. And but yeah, it showed a different kind of side of my uh, character, I guess you would say, because I'm usually cast as the heavy or whatever. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun and a lot of silliness, which I needed at that time.
Geez, man, you got a lot of credits on IMDb.
Yeah, I've been around for a little while. Started my first movie was The Postman with Kevin Costner in 1997, and so
Mhm.
yeah, I've been fortunate. Mostly indie stuff, but a few big films, which is interesting to work on.
Wait, you were in Rounders?
Yep. Yes, I worked with Edward Norton twice. After that, because he was kind of directing me in that scene, which was weird, and then he cast me in Keeping the Faith with Ben Stiller and him. He was Edward Norton was playing a priest, and Stiller's
Yeah.
character is a rabbi in love with
Mhm.
Jenna Elfman.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
remember that movie.
so I worked with him twice.
Who did you play in that movie?
I played T-Bone. That's a security guard that Ben Stiller's character is trying to get in to see.
Oh, he's like
You know,
T-Bone. You're like, nope.
yeah, I got clothesline him in it. So yeah,
Ah.
so that was fun. That was like a long 14-hour day shot on a Sunday in Wall Street, which was interesting. But yeah, yeah, and what's his father just died, who was a really funny guy, Jerry Stiller. And
Yeah.
I actually met Mr. Stiller, his father at a Broadway opening that my agent had invited me to because another client of his, Wayne Mathis, was starring in oh god, can't remember. Oh, Anything Goes on Broadway. So, and I met Mr. Stiller, Mr. Jerry Stiller in the lobby, and he was very very gracious. He gave me like the brother handshake. He was like, hey, I should have got a picture with him, but he was very nice. I was really sorry to hear of his passing. I mean, hey, 92 is a great long run, but he was a funny dude, man.
Yeah.
So you're a web developer or
Software developer. So like,
software developer?
yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
great
pretty
field.
cool. Yeah, I mean, working from home is like there was like no transition. I mean there was,
right,
but it's
right.
more like you can do the same thing anywhere, which is good. Uh, it's like kind of ironic for like a company like my company was like I wouldn't say they were anti working from home, but they kind of were like, you know, we'll let you do it, but we don't want you to do it. Like, but we're so set up to do it where I'm just like, we can work from anywhere. Like, it's like surprising to have those dichotomies of like, we don't want you to work from home, but we still are, you know, setting you up to be able to work from anywhere. But I think that like a lot of people put in extra hours. I try to pace myself to like 40,
Yeah,
45,
well, it's
you know.
yeah. Now it's I guess the cat's out of the bag that there are so many people who really can, well, could conceivably work from home and now have to work from home, and maybe companies didn't really want them to know that, But I mean, there's something to be said also about, getting out of your own space and going to somewhere to work, so you don't have to live and breathe and eat and all in the same place. So I don't know how does that feel to you that you have to do it from home now as opposed to having a place to go to.
Um, I go back and forth. It's like ironically, I'm a very extroverted person, so like to a certain extent, it's like making me go crazy. But
Yeah,
also
right.
because I've been like forced to kind of like go inward and like improve stuff. Like this past week, I haven't been doing like super great, but like I've been hiking and cooking and and doing all these things to like better myself, and I don't think I would have done that unless I was forced to be in this situation.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's just like the summer's coming. It's like I would have loved to have gone on trips during the weekends and like you can't like I can't really do anything other than like hike and cook and stuff. So that kind of sucks, but
Well,
that's what it is.
some things are opening up. I mean, I know that our gray brethren and sisters seem to be, just throwing all caution to the wind. But there are things opening up, and I think you can involve yourself in those things if you know use some caution. Wear a mask, have your sanitizer with you. But the gray folks just seem like they're going crazy, man. I just see all these pictures of people, no social distancing, no mask, and just blatant, unhealthy behavior. So, which puts the majority of, well, I'm older, plus I got high blood pressure, diabetes, whatever. I'm
Oh,
in that category, so I'm going out when I go take my little walk. I wear my mask, and I see all these people in the neighborhood, no mask on, just huffing and puffing and spreading their droplets, and it's just like. And I was actually exposed. My mother and brother had COVID, and thankfully, they recovered.
oh,
And
jeez.
that's my mom. So when I saw my mom, I hugged her, kissed her. So I was exposed, but luckily I was tested. I didn't have any. I didn't get it, but I may have been. I may have had a little touch of it. Maybe I just got past it, but my doctor won't give me the antibody test, so I don't know. But yeah, it's. But I mean, I'm saying that all to say that I think you can get out there, but you're gonna have to protect yourself because some people are not concerned about protecting you or themselves. So that's the scary part.
How do you test?
Well, we're also going into the yellow phase, which is just gonna spike and we're gonna go back to red. I don't even know why we're doing it.
I mean, I get it and I don't get it, but I mean, I think we have to try. But if people were smarter about it, I think it would be more doable. But sometimes you just got to do that and rip the Band-Aid off, but and to see what's going on. You see how some people are reacting. So it's gonna. I mean, we'll know in about another 2 or 3 weeks. I think cautiously and with using some type of smarts about it. But some people are just F it. We've been locked up for a month. I can't take anymore. But you got to be smart about it. But we'll see. The truth is in the numbers, and well, the numbers that we hopefully see that are the correct numbers. But I don't trust anything that comes out of number 45's mouth, and
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well, it says so the yellow face says stay-at-home order lifted for aggressive mitigation. I don't understand what that means, considering that pretty much everything's still going to be closed. You can't do anything.
Well, it seems like it's kind of state by state. There's some things that are opening up in different states, and it is state by state. It's kind of like, I don't know. I'm not sure what the government, the presidential order is. I really need to research that. I honestly have not been watching the news because he sickens me, and I have a bit more a sense of peace of mind by I guess not watching. I'll catch up on the recaps or whatever, but I literally have not been watching news because it just got to be too disconcerting. Just hear those lies and just all the blood that's on his hands. And I mean, it just sickens my stomach. So I just, what? I'll chill. I'll catch up when I need to catch up. But it's been best for my peace of mind. I sleep pretty well because of not. He just infuriates me whenever I, see and hear what he's doing. So.
Yeah,
But yeah, I really need to catch up on what. Sorry.
Was there a reason why your doctor won't do the test that you were asking for?
Yes. My mother and my brother both they were over here at Easter, and they weren't. My mother didn't eat a whole plate, so I knew she wasn't feeling well. And we tested her; she had a fever, so she got tested, and she and my brother were both COVID-19 positive. And luckily, my mom has she has COPD, and is older. She'll be 80 soon, so thank God. But I was very concerned, but she never got the shortness of breath something before, but she was very fatigued, had a fever, aches, and lost her sense of smell. So, and of course, whenever I see my mom, I hug her and I kiss her. So I was exposed, but luckily I remained asymptomatic. But yeah, they have free testing in Jersey, so I went and got the test, and I mean I was negative, which I didn't. I mean, I figured I was some asymptomatic, but I really wanted to get the antibody test to see if I had been exposed. I mean, I know I've been exposed, but to see if I had the actual virus, because I had some symptoms, but very, very few. And a doctor friend of my mom told her that there are different strains of this virus. Like some present with gastrointestinal issues, which I had some of, but no fever or no shortness of breath or whatever. So I wanted to get tested, but my doctor wouldn't test me, but I got a free test here in Jersey. So,
right.
But again, I would love to get the antibody test.
Yeah. Why? My question more was around why the doctor didn't recommend the antibody test.
He said something about the insurance thing and not being able to do it. So I'm waiting. I mean, I think there'll come a time. Yeah, just to know that if I have been exposed and if not that I will be immune, I'm still operating. I still take precautions and wear masks when I go out and have sanitizer with me, and But it would be nice to know if I had it, because I am in that age group, and blood high blood pressure, diabetes, so I have pre-existing conditions.
Yeah, there is no guarantee that even once you have it, you're immune to it. So yeah, that's kind of a worry for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, in a way, it's killing black and brown people. Yeah, should be a worry.
I mean, it should be a worry for anyone, no matter whether they're black or brown or not. But yeah, it is. I, a lot of people said something around the idea.
Well, I mean, our numbers are.
I'm sorry. A lot of people said something around the idea that, folks were worried about it until they realized that it was killing mostly black and brown people. I'm not sure if that's the case, but it's still disconcerting either way. Like, it should be disconcerting to everyone that it can kill as many people as it has. It's killed more people than the Vietnam War and the Korean War combined, and we just went through Memorial Day. That there's monuments in DC to the number of people that were killed by the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
Well, it is scary in as much as it seems. I mean, again, this is what it seems like. I know it in my own neighborhood, which is, it's mostly white. And I see these white folks walking around, no mask, sometimes no social distancing. They're in clusters of 6, 10 people. I mean, maybe they all live together. I don't know. But to me, I'm looking at that, and if their mindset is that, I can't say that's their mindset, but it seems psychologically that if you read the news and it's like, oh, it's killing an inappropriate number of Black and Hispanic people, then Latino people, then I'm probably cool. So I'm not going to wear a mask. But I mean, I think I don't know, and that's reading into it, but it just seems irresponsible to me. And in the same token, the few Black and brown people I see, a lot of them have masks on. So it's like, what does that tell me? What do I, surmise from that?
That's why I made the statement. That's why I made the statement on. That's why I made the statement on that photo of, look at all the 808 folks, because there was one person of color in that photo, and she was obviously, like, I don't know if she was unhomed or if she, like, had less access to, well, she's Black, so she definitely has less access to funding or whatever, and even just basic hygiene. But she had dirty pants on and a dirty shirt on, but she had a mask on. She was doing as much as she could with her limited means to avoid both getting and spreading a deadly virus. And she was the only one in the photo that had a mask on.
Wow.
It just...
A picture is worth 1,000 words. And then
sometimes I feel like I have to say.
And I don't know about you, but I don't know about. I mean, to me, it seems like every time I see a story, it's usually a white person that's bucking the system and saying, "I'm not wearing a damn mask." Everyone that I've seen, and then the white lady that's spitting on people because she's told she has to wear a mask. It's just like, really? What is that about? I don't get it.
Well, it's funny. I've been doing a lot of hiking lately, and if I go in the woods hiking, like in Philly, like most people are wearing masks. But I went on. There's a trail along the woods hiking in like the suburbs, like Fort Washington, Plymouth, White Marsh area, and I swear to God, it was like 90% of the people weren't even carrying masks. I was like, how do you even do that? Like, wow. I mean, to be fair, you can socially distance enough on most of those trails where like it's not that big of a deal. But at the same time, like people they weren't even prepared, like, and that's mostly like affluent white people,
Right. And I'm sorry. I mean, but they're I don't know. To me, it seems like they're the ones who are sneezing and coughing, not covering their mouths, even before this happened. And I was telling somebody, I'm an actor. I look at behaviors and stuff. White folks, to me, I mean, there's some black folks who do it, but I notice a lot of white folks. It's like, they're doing this all the time, and then putting their hand out to shake your hand. It's just like I'm very wary of people who are, all about touching their face, digging their nose. This was even before the pandemic started. I used to keep saying my even before, just because I just noticed habits and stuff, and it just seems more, the white folks were doing it. But I mean, yes, there's black people that do that too. But it's just I don't know, it's scary. But all you can do is try to, I guess at this point protect yourself, and and again, I've been exposed, so I'm trying to be respectful when I go out and put a mask on, because people just walking around willy nilly. You don't know what I have. If I cough, I could be spreading something. So I'm trying to be responsible too. I mean, I passed that point of exposure 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I've been tested, so I know I'm, not positive. But again, you can pick it up after you get tested too. So who knows? That's why I want to get the antibody test to see if I have been exposed. But that's a whole other subject.
I heard the antibody test isn't that effective. Like half of the tests are
you're
wrong
right.
or something.
Yeah, that's true. We have to get some type of uniformity with the testing.
The quick antibody test isn't effective because it's only like 60% accurate. But there's a blood antibody test, which is basically 100% accurate.
Okay, that's when I was interested in, the blood test, yeah. But I don't know. I'm going to see my doctor again. I have to see my doctor once a month to get a testosterone shot. That's what happens when you get old. But I'm going to ask him again.
Yeah. I mean, that's a frustrating thing for a lot of people, is that the advice changes daily. Like basically whether or not it's good to do this or good to do that. And I don't know why some folks are incapable of understanding how science works, how advice can change on a day-to-day, even hourly basis, just based on new information.
Well, I mean, and that's a whole nother kettle of fish, because the leader of the free world is anti-science, and he has a third of the country believing that the science that's out there is incorrect or lying to us. So, and you're right, yeah, science does change because it studies evidence, it studies, fluctuations, and science is not exact. So there can be some changes, but the people who don't believe in science, that just, fuels their disbelief, because, it changed from one thing to another. Yeah, things change because you have to study empirical evidence, but they don't get that or believe that or understand that. Science is not an exact science. I mean, it's funny to say that, but it changes because more evidence comes in, more.
Well, the thing about scientists is they're
from this.
Scientists are willing to change what they believe.
You have some kind of background in biology or something. Am I right about that?
Engineering.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You have that kind of mindset,
It is a mindset.
What you share and right about. But you have like a scientific approach to things, yeah.
Yeah, I try to, yeah. I'm not the best at it. I'm not the best scientist in the world. I'll freely state that. Like, um when I think about things, I try and follow scientific method. I try and think rationally about something, not try and fit the evidence to my hypothesis, but rather modify my hypothesis based on new evidence, and that's kind of the key with science.
Right, exactly. Well said. That's what I was trying to say. You said it more eloquently, but yeah, you did. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
um, yeah. So interest. Have you both been paying attention to the uh, uh, Milwaukee, right?
No,
Riots.
it's Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, I
Minneapolis.
mean, I could not watch the video, but I just posted on Facebook because an actor friend of mine who I was in jitney with, James Hussan, he's actually in Minneapolis, and he was at the protest yesterday. So, and he took footage, and I shared that on Facebook, which they probably might take down, but he was actually in the midst of it. They were protesting right in front of the police station, and he's right in the thick of it. So I told him to stay safe, but I don't know what's going to happen. But at least they fired the guys. I don't know if they're going to. I hope they charge them. There's this one guy. I saw a picture of him, the guy with the knee on the brother's neck. He's wearing a hat that says "Make America White Again," a red and white hat. So, and he's had some issues in the past with, I don't know, shootings or some kind of police brutality. So, I mean, and of course, I hate to say, judge a book by its cover, but the guy he just looks like every racist I've ever encountered. Just his facial expression, and I know it's just one glimpse of him, but the look on his face, and I saw a picture where he had his hand in his pocket with his knee on this brother's neck, and people were calling him on it and shouting at him, but it just no, it's horrible. But yeah, it's I just and I know people are trying to do the right thing by sharing the picture, sharing the video, but it's just like PTSD trying to watch that and just seeing that brother's face, the look on his face as this this punk's knee is on his knee. It just I've seen a lot of Facebook friends say it's giving them just agita, and they can't breathe literally because of watching this. So I won't watch the video. Enough people have put it out there. I know what they're trying to do, but it's just flooding social media. But at least it got something. I mean, the video of Ahmad at least got those rednecks arrested. So if that's what we have to do, I understand that, but I can, champion what they're trying to do, but I don't have to watch that. I can't keep watching stuff like that. It's just
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting topic too. I agree with the calls to not to quit fetishizing the damage to black and brown bodies. Um, at the same time, video evidence of these things happening seems to be somewhat necessary. Um, Folks won't believe it until they see it. Folks have been disbelieving us when we say stuff for generations. And only now can something like the incident in Central Park, also yesterday, a day before yesterday, can that cause somebody to lose their career and cause somebody to lose their dog?
What, they lost their dog? What happened? I only read part of this. So this lady called the cops on this dude, right?
Well, it starts a little bit earlier than that. The gentleman doing the recording is actually renowned comic artist and contributor to
Oh,
the arts. But he's also an avid birder, so he likes bird watching. And this area of Central Park that they were in is well known for ground nesting birds. And there's signs all over
oh,
the place in that section of Central Park that people should keep their dogs on a leash because if dogs go running through the bramble, they will destroy the nesting areas and or destroy the chicks. So he asked her to leash her dog, and she basically responded with an attitude. And then he keeps treats in his pocket so that he can like get dogs that are misbehaving to come over to him and hold on to them until their owner can come. And he
Mhm.
took the
oh.
treats out of his pocket, and that's when she flipped out. So he started recording her and said, said, "Ma'am, please put your dog on a leash." And she said she approached him and said that she was going to call the cops and this and that and the other thing, and just basically weaponized the police in order to. I mean, her intended effect was to get him to do what, well, get him to leave her alone.
Yeah.
Um, and I know we're all three light skinned brothers, but um, we've all,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, experienced this. Where the intended effect of calling in authority is just uh, to get your way. It's not
Yeah.
to enforce laws or rules. It's just to enforce what you want to happen.
Yeah.
And so that's what she did. She called the cops, and if you watch the video, it's very self damning. She put on a voice. I mean, after this, she could probably get a job as an actor because she put on a voice that sounded
Yeah,
like
acting like she was in danger. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's like they tell you if it's a fire, don't yell fire, yell it's a white woman being raped, because fire won't get you.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, that's fucked up.
but yeah, if you're really in trouble, I mean, and not to make light of anybody being raped. I'm sorry, I don't mean that, but just that if it's a black person in trouble, who's going to come? You say it's a white woman, in trouble. So for somebody to come help you or believe you, but yeah, it's and she knew exactly what she was doing, and
Yeah.
she's aware of the system of because there's black people that call the police. There's a black woman that called the police about this white man, and the police come and arrest her. She's the one being violated. So it's just and yeah, being licensed, I I've not been victim to the driving while black thing, but I know plenty of my brothers. There's one brother that I did a play with. He's also an actor, but he's also a lawyer. It's scary because the man knows his rights. He's been pulled over at least 10 times for no reason, and he knows this. And he just says he just turns the car ignition off, puts his hands outside of the window because he knows the deal and he knows his rights, which is even scarier because the cops really get offended when a black man knows his rights.
Oh yes, they do.
Like he knows the law better than the cop.
I've told this
But,
story before, but I'll risk telling it again, which is I used to live in South Jersey in Gloucester City,
oh,
and I was 20 something. I had a job where my job was to drive around a lot, and so I would often be coming home at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning from hundreds of miles out of state, and um, when you drive around in the middle of the night a lot, you realize that police officers in the middle of the night just don't have anything to do.
Yeah.
So pulling you over just becomes something that they do to get out of a little bit of boredom.
Right.
Um, and they will pull you over for anything because really anytime you're on the roadway, you are committing some kind of violation that somebody can pull you over for. Traffic law is and driving law is not actual law. It's designed to be a system where you're already set up for failure.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was coming home. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, I think, and I pulled into a Wawa to get a cup of coffee. Um, Sat in my truck for about 20 minutes, just kind of took a nap, had my cup of coffee. I was only like 10 miles from my house. Um, so, I decided to have a cup of coffee and relax. Well, the cops who were inside the Wawa just chatting with the people working there before this decided to pull away just before I left. And about a half a mile down the road, not even really, like you could see the parking lot where they were when from the Wawa parking lot, and they pulled out and pulled me over. And I said, "Why am I being pulled over? I don't understand." Um, Long story short, this started a 3-year back and forth battle between me and the local PD, which culminated in the funniest incident. And I wish I had the frame of mind in my 20s to pull this court record, but on the record, a judge asked me, "Mr. Jackson, why are you in my courtroom so often?" And I said, "Well, Your Honor, because your officers keep pulling me over." And he responded, "Well, it never seems like they have any reason to pull you over." And I said, "Yes, sir, that is absolutely correct." And he said, "And every time you fight a ticket here, it gets thrown away." I said, "Yes, you're absolutely correct." He said, "It seems like my officers have it out for you. Have you considered moving?" Um,
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
for a judge to say that on the bench and not even bat an eye, like he wasn't even saying it like ironically, he was just saying it. Uh,
Wow.
Mm.
um,
Acknowledging they're wrong, but telling you to move.
right, right. So a
That is the
judge
justice
is
system.
the judge backing the driving out of town of a resident.
Wow.
The more years go by, the more I think about the incident and the angrier I get about it. Now I'm a homeowner. At the time I was a renter, but now if some judge said something like that, I'd be like, "Are you gonna buy my house?"
Right. Wow.
Um,
Yeah, that is a great picture of our justice system as it I mean, what's the applies to people of color. Yeah, we acknowledge it's a problem, but we're not fixing it. So you fix it by leaving. Like somebody just put on Facebook, white person, why don't you blacks go back to Africa? It's like, first of all, we didn't ask to come here. We were forced to come here. And now we've been here longer than some of y'all. So why do we have to go back to Africa? You go back to Ireland or Italy. Don't tell us to go back to somewhere. I mean, I would love to visit the motherland. I've never been, but it's, it's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I'm multi-ethnic, multi-background, so I've been trying to visit all of my heritage. Um,
Do you have some Latino in you, James?
no, I'm Japanese, German, and black.
Oh, okay. I have a German great grandmother. Yeah. We're
Hmm.
all, and an Indian on my father's side. Yeah. we're all, we're all mutts basically, except for the
Yeah, I
Queen of
mean,
England.
we are no, even the Queen of England. The Prince.
Ah,
Wait, what happened? You broke up there, or I broke up. The prince what?
I said the Queen of the Prince of Prince Charles was
Yeah.
DNA tested, and he has mitochondrial DNA from West Africa.
Uh-oh.
The theory is that there were a lot of West African immigrants just before the war with Spain. So that's probably how West African mitochondrial DNA got into the bloodline of the English monarchy.
Right. I mean, I guess I was referring that, they say there was a lot of inbreeding there, but, but yeah, it's something sneaks in when you least expect it, I'm sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is, there's the argument of whether or not we should talk about post-racial America. We're not in a post-racial America. There's no validity to that. But there will, hopefully one day be a post-racial America, and it's because
3000 maybe.
Sure, maybe, but I mean, mixed people are the future. There's no validity to keeping history, keeping I don't even know what you would call it. It's not bloodlines. It's not, I guess. See, the problem is I don't even really believe in ethnicity. Ethnicity is just something that we've made up based on geographic constraints that don't actually mean anything to the DNA of who we are.
Right.
So, I guess heritage, the heritage of humanity is the fact that we can all come together now and we can all be one people. Why is that so scary for folks? I don't know. Did I lose you guys?
Yeah, you went out for a minute.
What you said? Why is it scary for people to what? Have ethnicity or not have it?
Why is it scary for folks that humanity is just one humanity, that there aren't all these divides, that like that the divides are just made up?
Well, because they're the ones that benefit from being made up, right? But also, I mean, there's a certain amount of identity, like, people attach their identity to their culture and their heritage and their shared experiences, and I mean, all different ways that are either, some of them are completely arbitrary and stupid, but some of them have validity, right? So, it's hard enough for people to challenge themselves in like just a good scenario, but when you talk about people changing what they feel their identity is, that's always going to be a hard sell. I don't care how like progressive you are or whatever. I mean, it's just a hard thing. Well, I got an 11. I guess I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one, man. And nice meeting you, Brian.
Well, thanks, Charles. Thanks for joining us. I'm actually gonna stop the stream in a few moments. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us online. I hope you enjoyed the couple of tracks this morning. They are both Creative Commons tracks. And so I can get anybody that information that's interested, and I'll paste it in the comments. Thank you, Brian, for joining me. Thank you, Charles, for joining me. And I hope everybody has a nice day.
Yep, stay safe. Great seeing you guys, and be well. Peace.
Peace.